So greetings and welcome back to my backyard. It's late in the evening. I was out here doing a little target practice with my bow. See, I got my 3D target right there. It came apart and I had to go get some Gorilla Glue and put it back together so it's on the mend. I always say I'm gonna get one more year out of that 3D target. And then I got my block target further down. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've been flinging arrows this afternoon. I got my tree stand on my tree. I get up in my tree stand and shoot from my tree stand because I like to pretend hunt. I believe pretend hunting kind of puts the mindset to what I'm going to see. That's why I use a 3D target. I use a 3D target because I want to prepare my mind and my eyes for what I'll see when the moment comes, okay? And sounds like we're going to have a thunderstorm. Anyway, I got something here real exciting to show you. Now, the goal for this hunting season, my personal goal, will be to kill me a big old buck, right? And bring that deer home and skin him myself, butcher him myself, package him up and put him in a freezer and consume that deer throughout the whole year. And on top of that, to eat green beans, squash, carrots, celery, zucchini, peas, sweet potatoes, all out of my own garden. I'm going to show you my garden this evening. Let's go take a look. I've planted a garden. I'm so excited. What I did was, this is some leftover lumber right here from when I rebuilt the deck. And I thought I'd use that lumber to make raised garden bed. So I got corn, I got squash, I got tomatoes, I got zucchini, I got cucumbers, I got green beans, all growing in these little raised beds. I ain't got no shoes on, so ow. I got this big old gum tree right here, drops those sharp little thingies. But here we go, check that out. Isn't that something? This is a squash, and of course that's corn and zucchini. These are my tomato plants, more corn, cucumbers, and look at how those green beans are growing. Now, it's tricky gardening in the Florida sun, especially in the summertime, so I just decided that I'd take a chance, right? I would just do it and see how it turned out. And I started out with sweet potatoes, and boy, those sweet potatoes took off. Now I've got mixed, this is my sun, that's my midday sun, and it's about 4 hours. That's all I believe that these plants could take, because the Florida sun would be notorious. But these are my sweet potatoes, and my peas are down there, but they're not going to make it, I don't think. These are all my green beans. And over here I planted more. Ow! I planted more, and I set up these trellises. These are green beans, and yeah, I think I'm excited. This is working out. Of course, I don't have it in the direct sunlight, so I'm going to make more beds, and I'm going to plant more vegetables as the season progresses here in Florida. I would like to have a year-round garden. I'd like to make it my goal to have a year-round garden. Ow. So anyway, let's get on with the video. What's the whole point of the video? It is advice for this up-and-coming archery season. What advice would I give myself? What advice would I give Peter if I were starting all over again, okay? And the advice that I'd give myself is, don't burn out too early during the archery season, because as far as I'm concerned, let me see if I can get this thing back on here. As far as I'm concerned, the season gets better and better and better as it goes. Don't hang your hat on any one hunt. I get quota permits, and I'm excited to go on those quota hunts, and I've killed great deer on those quota hunts. But look at your season as a whole, okay? Decide how many days a week you're going to hunt. If you can only hunt 1 day a week, stick to that 1 day a week. Last year I could only hunt 1 day a week. I hunted on Thursday mornings. That's all I could do. My family responsibility kept me from hunting more. I'm hoping maybe that this year will be different. Who knows? We'll see. But I hunt every chance I get. If I could get off early from work to go hunting, I would do it, right? The point is, I don't want to burn out too early. I don't want to go half a dozen times the first 2 weeks and lose any enthusiasm that I might have for the hunt. I want to save some of the enthusiasm. Maybe some of you are like me, you just don't burn out, you don't care, right? But if you know that you're prone to burn out, stretch it out a little bit, once a week, you know, Saturday afternoon for a couple hours if you can pull away, right? And yeah, it's going to be hot. There's going to be mosquitoes. There's going to be times when you're going to wish that you weren't out there. It's too miserable because it's Florida, right? It's archery season. Some guys are killing deer. I saw on Instagram some of those guys down in South Florida. Now in South Florida, they have an early season. Most of it is on private land. I don't know when the public land opens up down there at different dates, depending on the management area you're looking at. But yeah, there's some great deer been killed down there, and I know it's been on private land, but I don't criticize them for killing a good deer on private land. I don't criticize them for killing a legal buck on private land. More power to them. I had private land to hunt. I don't have it anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna hunt public land just like the next guy, and I'm gonna try and make my mark on public land. But I'm not gonna burn out too early. That's one tip that I would tell myself if I could go back in time and see. I said, don't burn out too early. And the next tip I would probably tell myself is to use the archery season as a time to scout and find new spots. And if you've never hunted a management area or a place, or maybe you're new, this will be your first season hunting, where do I start? I would start by picking a spot. I would pick a spot, and nothing beats boots on the ground or time in the stand. All right, if you can spend time, if I go to a management area that I've never hunted before, I look at the map, I pick a spot, and then I go to it. I was amazed when I hunted down at Gothey. I actually put the road, the name of the road, I think it was South Gas Line Road, in my smartphone. And it took me right to the entrance I wanted to get to. Wow, I didn't know that they had forest roads on that cell phone thingy, but they do. And yeah, it took me right to it. Told me when I was approaching it in the pitch black dark. That's huge, because how many times have I driven right past where I needed to turn off because there are no signs, no reflectors. Somebody hangs a piece of flagging tape there, you know, maybe. But yeah, you'll drive right past it. But if you put it in your little MapQuesty thing there on your smartphone, and yeah, it comes up. So yeah, pick a spot, look at the map, pick a spot, and hunt. Find a trail, find access, even if it's just 100 yards off the road or 50 yards off the road, it doesn't matter. Get in your stand and get a feel for what's happening. All right, and sit there for a while. When I say a while, what does that mean? 4 hours. Sit there, give it, don't get down and move to another spot, and get down and move to another spot. That's a sign of desperation. Hunters are patient. They sit for hours and hours and hours. And then when they think they've sat long enough, they sit some more. And then when they don't see anything, what do? They go back and they sit some more, because that's the way you do this thing. So if you haven't been to the management area that you're thinking about hunting because it's too far to drive, or you just hadn't had the time, pick a spot, go, park there, and expand your search from there, right? And put the dots, connect the dots, and become familiar with the place you want to hunt. Now, when I go back to Gothey, I will hunt that same block of woods that I hunted last year. Only I might have expanded my search a couple of 100 yards based on how deep the water is. Man, that place is deep with water. So those are my 2 tips. Don't burn out too soon, and pick a spot, and don't forget to hunt. Get in your stand, hunt, and then get down and expand your search from there. Read sign, make note of sign, and when you're looking, make note of food sources, rubs, scrapes. If you see a scrape that a buck has made, and you go back in November and that scrape doesn't look like it's active, hunt over it. That's all. Hunt over it. Okay? Just because he's not scraping in it doesn't mean he's not there. I hunted over scrapes that looked like they were dead. Had bucks come right to them. Rubs. If you see a buck rub, hunt over it. Okay? And yeah, I hope as the season progresses, we'll touch on this a little bit more, but that's what I have for you today. I hope you all are having a great preseason as we get ready to go on our archery hunt. I'm gonna continue to shoot my bow and enjoy this cooler weather. All right, love you guys. Talk to you soon. See you. Bye.